Hello everyone, hope all of you are having a very pleasant day. So today we are about to discuss inheritance in this video. Inheritance in Python, which is one of the OOPS concept. So let us see initially what is inheritance. So inheritance is the ability to inherit features or attributes from already written classes into the newer classes. Clear? So these features and attributes are defined data structures and functions used to perform with them. Here what happens, like we have created a parent class and the child class. So child class inherits the properties of the parent class. So the new classes, they copies all the older classes functions and attributes without rewriting syntax in the new classes. So these new classes are called derived classes and the old ones are called the base classes in inheritance. Clear? This point, like new classes copies all the older classes functions and attributes without rewriting the syntax in the new classes. These new classes are called derived classes and the old ones are called base classes. Derived class is a class that will inherit from the base class and it's the class that will serve as the parent. Base class is the class that will serve as the parent class or the most super class, right? It's a parent class or a super class. So let us try to implement inheritance. So we will create a parent class and a child class and then the object of those. Okay. So let me do this way, class, and let me just write, for example, person, and let me create a constructor here. Init and self comma name comma age, and let us mention here self dot name is equals to name and self dot age equals to age. Def say hello and let me write here self. So this is the another function I have created in this class, and then print name is self dot name and I am self dot age old. Now let us do this way. Again I have created a child class here. Let us see, like child class is employee. Okay, and let me mention here as person So what is happening, you can clearly see after I didn't imported this, I just imported this one init. So in the init constructor, after implementing the age part, so directly the super dot init has been declared here, right? Directly super dot init has declared here. That means it is referring to this init. Okay, in this child class, employee is the child class and it is inheriting the person property. For example, let me remove this person and just check what happens. It's not giving any error. Okay, let us do this way. Init. So now you can see this init constructor has not inherited the other parameters like how it used to do before. But when I mention here person Okay, when I mention here person, clear, person. Now let me do what happens here is init. You can clearly see here it has inherited this with super.init constructor. When the person is being mentioned, when the person is removed, it is taking the simple init with only self as a parameter and not inheriting the above constructor. But when you put person here in within the child class, it is inheriting the init constructor. Now let me do the super again, super dot. For example, let me do this way, say hello. So here what is happening, we have implemented the example of inheritance. First of all, I created a parent class. In that I defined a constructor in it with the two variables name and age, and then we are trying to print that those variables in the next function. Okay, now we have created the child class. Child class is inheriting the parent class. In this we have defined the extra variable. Okay, we have assigned the extra variable, and then this in the next function or second function we are calling super this function. Okay, super dot say hello, this we are calling, and in the print statement grade is, so we are defining the grade is, like what is the grade we are defining, and person is equals to person dot say hello. So we are inheriting the parent properties from the parent class, and then we are defining the object here. Okay, for the parent class the object has been defined with the two variables name and age, and we are trying to call the function to print the value. Cool. And for this we are trying to define the object, another object, that is employee, and name, age and grade. So name is Mary, age is 18 and grade is 23, and then we are trying to define the like we have to call the next function for that particular child class and trying to print the value for that grade. So you can just see name is, and the name self dot name and I am age is being printed for this particular first one. And while calling say hello method here, why say hello is in this also and here also. So and child is inheriting the property for this particular two. This say hello is also printed when we are calling the child method, and the say hello method which is within the child class is also printed. Hence we can see name is again and age is again, which is printed twice, because first we have created the parent class, second we have created child is again inheriting the properties from the parent class. Hence it is printing the this printing statement again, and it is also printing the print statement which is being defined in the child class. Grade is, so this is the grade. So I just changed the type of this print, like to mention it, because it was not printing the value initially. So you can now clearly see now it is printing the values, because it was printing a different statement like this, self dot name, self dot age was getting printed. So I have changed that pattern, and now you can see that it is printing the value 56, 18, and the Jack, Mary. Okay, here I have put some like this, because you can see Jack and age and Mary and age is getting merged in the sense, not merged, but there is no space in between. So it's looking now it's clear. Name is Jack, age is 56, name is Mary, age is 18, and grade is 23. And what is happening here is, initially it was giving error here, typecasting error, because it is age was taking a it like age, it is like print statement will not print integer value, and you have to convert it to string. So I have just used the string function to mention it as a string. So create a new string object. So string is just used to convert this age part into integer. So it's giving you the integer value here, 56 and 18. That's it. Cool, right? Now let us see about, so this was the simple example of inheritance part. Okay, now we will see now let us see types of inheritance. So within the types of inheritance, we will be having a single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance. Single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance. Four types of inheritance we are going to check. Single inheritance, single child class derived from a single parent class. Cool enough? So let us create a class. For example, I'm just creating a simple class named as parent here, and let us create one function. We will just create one function, and I will just mention self in this function, and I'm trying to print something like parent. I will just print parent here. Okay, parent. And let us create the next function, which is the child class, class child, and use the next function, and just use self. Okay, let me do one thing, because function 1, and let me mention here function 2. Print child, बड़ा होने वाला मैटर. Now what is happening here is, I will be creating the object for the class. So here I have created test is equals to child. What is happening here? Single inheritance, attribute child, object has no attribute, function 1. So you can clearly see that child object doesn't has any attribute called function1, whereas so child attribute doesn't has any function1 का नहीं है, लेकिन फिर function2 तो print होना चाहिए. Now run and see child. So here you can see what is happening with this single inheritance. Test dot function2, when I have created the object for this particular class, it is printing, like it is printing this print statement child, but when I tried calling function1 method, which is of the parent class, it is telling me, it is giving me the error that child object has no attribute function1. So what I have to do here is I need to inherit parent, and then once you run, you can see now it is printing both parent and child. Now this is the single level inheritance where we have created a parent class, then we are having a one single child class for it, for that single parent, and we are using the def function print child. Test is equals to child, object is being created, and that child is trying to inherit that function1 of the parent, and then the function2 for the child class, and then both the print statement is there, that is parent and child. Clear enough? This is the single level inheritance. So multiple inheritance, single child class inherited from two or more parent classes. What is a multiple inheritance? You are inheriting a single child class from two or more parent class. It means child class has access to all the parent class methods and attributes. If two parent class have the same named methods, child class has performed method of the first parent in order of reference. To better understand which class methods shall be executed first, we use method resolution order function, because if we are having multiple classes and there is a single child class, we need to see that which parent class will be executed first. So for that we will be using method resolution order function, and it tells order in which child class interpreted to visit other classes. How the child class will visit, which order it will visit the other classes, that is being told by method resolution order function. So let us see this in respect to multiple inheritance. Okay, multiple inheritance when there are more number of parent classes. Cool. Like first initially mentioned class, we are having parent 1, def function1, self, इसमें क्या आएगा? This is the multiple inheritance where we are having number of the parent classes and only one single child class. So what we are doing here is one single parent class, another is the parent, third one is the parent. So we are having each function within those parent classes, and then we are having a child which is inheriting all these three parents, and it's having its own function, and it will print this child class. So what is happening here? Test dot function 1, function 2 and function 3. So I have created the object for the child class. Parent 1, it is printing parent 2. Why didn't print parent 3? So you can clearly see here that I have inherited all the three parents, but it has printed the output for parent 1, parent 2, and then it has printed the output directly for child class. Child class, but it has not printed the output for this parent third parent. So what is happening here? Let me just use this print function and just check child. Okay, child dot mr. I will be using this one, double underscore mro double underscore. So just to check what is happening here exactly, why it has not printed this one, parent 3. So what is doing here? Class main dot child, main dot parent 1, main dot parent 2, class main dot parent 3, and then class object. See, even it has not printed the output for parent 3, it is still like considering this order of the parent 3 also. And then the class object, why it is considering the order of parent 3 is, it is considering the order of parent 1, parent 2, and parent 3 order is not being considered because like child class first visits itself. Okay, first it has visited itself here, then the first parent referenced before the second parent class. First parent is being referenced before the second parent class, and it visits second parent class before the third parent class, and it performs second parent's functions rather than third parent's. Finally, it visits any objects that may have created, and it performs second parent's function rather than third parent. It is performing second parent function rather than third parent. It has skipped the third parent function. It didn't printed the output for it. It had visited the parent 3, but it has not printed the output here for the parent third class. Whereas it has printed the output for its own class and other two parent class, parent 1 and parent 2, but not parent 3. So like you can just check these things using the MRO order. What is MRO order? It is a method resolution order. Method resolution order in the sense, same thing. Where you can see the order for the methods being printed or how the classes are being visited. So this is the multiple inheritance where you might be having multiple parent classes, only single child class, whereas it will just print the output like parent 1, parent 2, child class, like that. Now let us see multi-level inheritance in Python and hierarchical inheritance in Python. Okay, we will see these two things next. Let me comment out this. So what is multi-level inheritance in Python? Introduce, like we are having a grandparent class, then the parent class, and then the child class. Like parent 1, and then parent 1 is the main class, and then the parent 2 is inheriting from parent 1, and then there is a child class where child class is inheriting from parent 2. So that is multi-level inheritance. So Let us use this example. For example, class and grandparent. Grandparent, let me write this grandparent, and I will be using a function here, function 1, and let me note this self and just try to print as grandparent. So here, like, we have implemented multi-level inheritance in Python. That is class, that is grandparent. Def is the function 1 self, print grandparent. Class is again parent, where we are inheriting from the grandparent and we are trying to print. Then class is again child, where we are inheriting from the parent class, and here we have created a child object. We are trying to, using this object, we are trying to call all these functions. Test function 1, function 2, function 3, and it is printing all of them: grandparent, parent, and child, right? Okay. Now, so it is printing all of them. So this is the multi-level inheritance. We are having grandparent, then the parent and child. So it's showing the hierarchy level. Like for example, I have inherited the genes from my father. Then my father has inherited genes from grandfather, and grandfather has inherited the genes from great grandfather. Like that. It's showing the entire lineage, the ancestral hierarchy. So this is what is the multi-level inheritance in Python. Now let me comment out this. Now this is the hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance means there are multiple derived child classes from a single parent class. Like it's a mix. Hierarchical in the sense it is a mixed. There are multiple derived child classes from a single parent class could also be a possibility. So let us see this class parent, okay, and the function 1, then it will be self, print parent, So what is happening here? This is a hierarchical inheritance. We are having a class. Uh, and we are having multiple derived classes. So this derived class is inheriting from parent. So you can see here we are having a different classes. We created the object for both the classes, both the child classes, and we are trying to call the functions of it using the object of both the child classes, and hence it is printing parent child 1, parent child 2, right? So both the child class is able to access the parent because both the child class is inheriting the parent attributes and then its own attribute, right? It's printing its own attribute. So this is how the hierarchical inheritance will be defined. We have implemented the hierarchical inheritance, and now we will implement the hybrid inheritance. Okay, hybrid inheritance is the fifth one. So it is mixture of two or more types of inheritance. It could be single inheritance, it could be multiple, multi-level, this hierarchical. So it is a mixture of hybrid inheritance. Okay, in short I would say a mixture of multiple two or more types of inheritance. So let us see class parent 1. Okay, parent 1, and let me define the function in this. Then we are having another class as parent 2. Okay, and we have the function in this, function 2 self, and we are having print in this. So what we are doing here is we are trying to implement the hybrid inheritance. So we have created first a parent class 1, then parent class 2 is being created, child class 1 and child class 2, where child class 1 is inheriting the parent class 1 property, child class 2 is inheriting the child class 1 and parent 2 class property. So here in this you can see child is inheriting the child part. So there is a nested child. I mean, like this is the type of multi-level plus multiple inheritance, where we are having multiple parent classes, and then we are also having multi-level inheritance implemented here, like child 2 implementing child 1 and then the child 1 implementing parent 1, like that. So here we are having two types involved into this. So this is two or more types of inheritance, like two or more types of inheritance is a hybrid inheritance. So here, as we see, there are two types into it, hence we will call it as hybrid inheritance. And then this, we have created the objects for both the childs, and then they are trying to call the functions accordingly. Parent and child 1, parent and child 2 is being printed. Test1 dot function 1, test1 dot function 1, like child 1 is trying to function 1, parent 1, parent 1 is not printed, it's just printing parent 1 is not being printed, right? It's only printing parent. Let us see this print test dot So you can just see what is the MRO here clearly. You can just simply see what is the method resolution order which both the child classes have followed. Parent 1, child 1, parent 1, parent 2, child 1, child 2. Now it is being printed the entire output. You can clearly see whatever the functions we have called, it is printing here. And the method resolution part also you can see in the hybrid inheritance. for all these classes. Now, what is the super function in super function? So, super function, like method overriding, is the ability of any object-oriented programming language that allows the subclass or the child class to provide specific implementation of method already provided by one of its superclasses or parent classes. Parent init is overridden by the child init, hence child class cannot inherit attributes from the parent class. Now let us see the example of super, is instance and is subclass also. We will see these methods also. Okay. For me also it is a little bit difficult to remember, but yeah, we will see these discussions. We will see the discussions about super, is substance and is instance. Clear? So let us see super, that is class parent. For example, let me take example class parent def display, and let me mention here self. So what is happening here? Like I have created a parent class and that def display method is there, then child class and def display method. Super dot display, like we are calling the parent method here, we are inheriting, and then print child. Okay. So in this you can see parent is also being called and the child is also being called with a single test dot display. Because when you are using this test dot display, when it goes to this display method, it is inheriting the super dot display also. That means automatically parent will be called and then the child is also being printed. So super dot display inherits the parent attributes. Clear? It automatically references the parent or the base class from which child class is derived, and it is extremely helpful to call the overridden method in the classes with many methods. And what is subclass and is instance? So is subclass is a method to check whether the class is the child of the parent class. It checks if the first class is derived from the second. If the classes share the parent-child relationship, it returns Boolean value of true, otherwise false. Is instance allows us to check whether object is the instance of a particular class or any classes it has been derived from. It takes the two parameters, that is object and class. We need to check it against. It returns the Boolean value of true if the object is instance, otherwise false. Now class is parent. So what is happening here? We are using each subclass method to check whether the child is the parent of the derived main class and whether the parent is the subclass for the child or not. So parent is not the subclass for child, it returned false, whereas child is the subclass for the parent. Yes, it is the subclass of parent because child is inheriting the parent here, right? So hence it is returning the values according to it, like true or false. Now let us implement one more thing. For example, A is equals to child and B equals to parent. Just mention here print is instance A comma child and print is instance like object of, whether this is the object of this class or whether this is the object of another class, like that. Is the parent, print is instance नहीं. So A is instance of child. Yes, A is the object of child. Whether A is the object of parent? No, A is not the object of parent. Hence it is written B is the object of child. Yes, B is the object of parent but not child again. So accordingly it is returning the values. Cool enough? So here is subclass is used to check whether it is the subclass or not, and is instance is used to check whether it is the object or not. I hope these things are very clear to you. And this is all about the inheritance we have seen today in this particular video, and hope all this knowledge was useful to you. In the next video we will see about the encapsulation, and after that we will see about the polymorphism. So these are the two concepts which we have to cover more in the OOPS concepts of the Python programming language. Okay, that's it. Thank you.